Hello and welcome to the JackedNLeen in our 10 Minutes podcast, a podcast designed to bring you maximum information in our 10 minutes or less so you can get on your way to being jacked and lean. It's been a while since we've done one of these episodes, and now that we have this gym open and a podcast room designed, we want to get these episodes rolling again because honestly, guys, this is something that Eileen and I really enjoy doing, bringing valuable information to you in a short, condensed format. We've toyed around with the idea of having 20-minute, hour-long podcasts. And we might do some of the stuff in the future, but we want to bring hard-hitting information to you in a very practical sense. Like everything we're doing Jacked and Lean by opening the gym, posting more on social media is to bring value to you so you can become the highest, most well-rounded, robust, badass version of yourself. And today I wanted to do a topic to kick this whole thing back off with something that's been a fun learning experience for me, honestly, and that is the 10 lessons I've learned about owning a gym in the first 2 months. So we've been operating for just over 2 months now, and there's a lot of things that we picked up along the way. I just sat down for like 10 minutes and ripped off 10 things that came to my head immediately, and this is something that I think will help benefit any future gym owners, maybe get some of you just an insight on what it's like to own a gym, things you didn't think about before, and then ultimately, like with these podcasts as we continue to go, obviously, we'll maybe cover more things that we learn, new evolutions of things. But this is, this podcast is all about bringing good information so you can obviously get on your way to being jacked and lean, whether it be owning a business, with your physique, or anything else in life. So I wrote down 10 things. Let's get to it. Number 1, your equipment will get used a lot. When I started this gym, all my equipment friends said, Jack, be ready for people to use and abuse your stuff. And obviously this being a personal collection of mine, at least most of it, back in our house, it was like kind of hard to hear. I'm like, nah, it's going to be fine. It's commercial stuff. It'll hold up. And when you get really good stuff, it will hold up. You can definitely tell more well-quality built equipment from stuff that's a lot cheaper because it will just handle that abuse. And even the first couple months with the volume of people we've had come through here and use, we have a lot of good pieces. People want to get on this stuff, which is one of the reasons why we built it, was so people could use it. But with that comes, use and abuse and wear and tear. So I guess out of this, I've learned that it will get used more than I even anticipated. Therefore, that regular maintenance is crucial. Gym owners that are vets in this game have preached it to me and preached it online for a long time now. Like, stay on top of your maintenance schedule, and I'm going to repeat it again here. Stay on top of your maintenance schedule. Make sure pads are good, handles are good. That's the easy stuff. We're talking like, make sure you grease your bearings, make sure you got, lube your guide rods, make sure your belts are tight and not wearing and tearing. Like all those small things will keep your equipment in tip-top shape and keep your members happy. The second thing, experience really does matter when it comes to creating, a business experience. People come in, and if they do not have a very consistent experience, they will leave. Your experience that you deliver in your business can never falter. Now, this is something I have learned in previous businesses and jobs I've held, is that experience that person has is everything. It has to be the highest quality every single time they come through the door. No matter how many employees you have, they all need to be on the same exact page, the same warm welcome, the same fond farewell, the same, tidiness and cleanliness of your facility, the equipment's like experience is everything. You cannot have a single off day. Now, things will happen, and you hope your members understand, but you have got to stay as tight as possible with that stuff. 3, it's all about the people, and you as the owner set the tone. Like, we run a business, and especially in the gym industry, it's in the hospitality, health and wellness industry. We have to deal with people. We literally exist to help people become better versions of themselves. And if you don't have quality people coming in and you're not trying to do things that yourself to help them become even higher quality people, ultimately your culture will suffer. A lot of gym owners promise that they're going to build a culture and a community, and they just let any Joe Schmo in that ends up affecting the community. They're not holding standards. Like, they're not, the owners themselves aren't present. The trainers aren't top of the line trainers holding a certain standard of excellence. The people are everything, and that goes to your trainer, to your front desk staff, to your janitors, to the members. Like, who you have in your gym will set the tone for your gym. And as the owner, you ultimately are like the number one person that tone comes from. Number 4, the best blessing a business can have is good competition. One of my clients who owns a very, very successful corporation, runs it, gave me that line when I was talking to him just about, us operating the first couple months. And to me, that really flipped a switch when it was like, I just want everyone to win. I ultimately, yes, but in business, there is competition. Like, you have some gym that opens down the road, some gym that does this or that. It is competition. And the best blessing a business can have is good competition, because it forces you to innovate. It shows you what you're made of. It shows what your business plan is founded on. All these things, like what type of owner and operator are you? And that's something that Eileen and I have welcomed with open arms, is the competition. This is fun. This is fun as hell. I'm a competitive guy. I played sports, did the whole thing. I cannot wait to compete in this space. I think we're doing a pretty good job of it so far. The fifth thing, clear, consistent, concise communication is the best form of management. You need to be direct but gentle. So you basically need to set and uphold expectations. This is that salt shaker conversation I've covered briefly on social media before, but the idea that, you need to, like, when you see something wrong, you got to go say it, but you need to be gentle with it. And if you continue to correct it on the spot and set clear expectations as to what needs to be adjusted, you're more likely to get the result that you want. Clear, concise, but also gentle. Never helps to berate somebody. You always catch more flies with honey, but you cannot let things slide, because ultimately they build up and then things crumble, all right? And then explosions happen. You don't want any of that type of stuff, right? All right, number 6, the people that want to be there will be there. This is something we say to every single person that comes through that I give a tour to. If you want to be in this gym, you'll find yourself in this gym. And that's what we're using to set the standard and set the culture. If someone wants to leave our gym, we are okay with it. We don't want to have people here that don't want to be here. If people want the best training experience that they will ever have in their entire life on the best equipment in the world, they will find themselves here. If they don't, that's okay. Maybe it doesn't mean that much to them. Maybe it's not accessible enough to them because they're too far away. We understand. But if you want to be here, you'll find yourself here. And then ultimately, we've been building just one person like that at a time, and we are developing a really cool community here with that concept, right? So do not try to hold people on with contracts and threats of cancellation fees. And you don't want to be that type of gym, right? The people that want to be there will find their way there. All right, number 7, 3D energy drinks don't sell at all, at least in my gym. We have quite a diverse array of energy drinks, and 3D just one that hasn't sold, potentially because of the product placement. I have more lines of Gorilla Mind and Rise. Maybe it's just because the branding of 3D isn't as good. Maybe I don't have enough flavor options. There's all these questions as a business owner when it comes to picking and choosing products to sell that you need to consider, right? And if something's not selling, why is it not selling? Does it matter to you? Do you need it for hitting certain profit margins? That product's particularly good for it, so maybe you want to keep it in there, whatever it is. But this is more so just a microcosm, a single example of, I guess, merchandising and product delivery as a whole is you have to just kind of, learn over time. And that's one thing. Eileen and I have not dealt a whole lot in selling merchandise, selling drinks and supplements and all that kind of stuff, except for when I've had jobs at GNC in the past. But when it comes to ordering and then selling our own stuff, we've had to learn on the fly and see what people like, what they don't like. If something's not selling, how do we promote it more on social media? How do we, again, product place it better in the gym? All these kinds of things you got to consider. So, but 3D drinks in my gym don't sell well. Gorilla Mind, money. All right, number 8, you need to learn to make quick decisions. In business, pace is fast, right? You got to make a decision to keep things moving on the other end of the spectrum there quickly as well. You cannot sit and wait. And this is something, if I'm being totally transparent, I've been guilty of in the past. Not because I don't want to make decisions. I just look at a lot of angles of every possible decision and every outcome, and it does freeze me a bit. But since operating here, I've had to learn and improve that skill of making quicker decisions. Hey, Jack, what do you think about this? Boom, got it, do that. Hey, Jack, what should we do here? Go, right? And I was watching a movie. It was a submarine movie. It was fantastic. And I think it was Matthew McConaughey. He was in it. And anyway, one of his commander or his leader basically said, you're the captain, and everyone always looks at the captain. The captain always knows what to do, even when you don't know what to do. And that's something I'm applying here. Is this is my first time running a gym of this size. So while I may not know exactly what to do, I do have a damn good idea. And sometimes you just need to trust your gut and make that decision when it needs to be made. You can't sit and twiddle your thumbs. Number 9, referrals are the best form of business growth. So when you're obviously dealing with people, you got to keep giving that consistent experience, have good equipment, keep it maintained. All things we've covered before, that leads to these referrals. We are, a lot of times, social media helps market. I have billboards. We're doing some other cool things here that I'll be launching shortly. But the best form of business growth is through referrals. It has been for every type of business I've ever worked in. Word of mouth. When someone says, JackedNLeen is the best gym you'll ever train at, that holds weight. I can say that. People expect me to say that, but when someone else says it, it holds weight. So find ways to help drive referrals from your members, right? Whether that be hosting events and letting them bring their friends in or say, hey, you get this if you give referrals. I don't do a lot of that type of stuff. I just trust that my experience speaks for itself, and that makes people want to bring more people like them. Because if someone's enjoying their workouts, they're getting killer lifts, they want to tell their friends and family about it, right? Just same thing with coaching, same thing with any other type of sales, etc., right? And then finally, number 10 here. Hope I'm not too close to the 10 minutes. Might be a little bit over. You guys know how I am. But going forward, I am going to hold a very strict time limit. And if I need to do a second, session of this, I will. But number 10, in that vein of referrals, don't expect people to support you that you thought would. And I've had people I thought were friends not come through, but complete strangers have completely supported my business without fail. So who do you think I'm going to keep driving energy to? And I wrote that as a bit more like a kind of a word vomit. When I started this gym, this is why I'm rounding out with number 10 here. Because if you made it this far, you know what type of guy I am. You've been listening to me for a little bit now. When you start something for yourself and you try to elevate yourself to the next level, people that you thought were going to support you don't always want to come along for the ride. And initially that hurts. It hurts a lot, especially when people say they want to be this type of person. They're trying to drive this type of thing, and then they don't follow through. And those people always know who they are. But the people that support you, whether it be those people who do come through or complete random strangers, you lean into those people. You give them every fucking thing that you have, right? Because they're the people that are your ride or die. They're the people that are going to stand with you while you're growing. A lot of people say, I want you to win, but you can't win too much, right? If you start winning too much, I can't support that anymore. There's those people as well, right? So if you find the people who support you under any circumstance, even if they are losing, they still want to see you win. Those are your ride or dies. Those are the people, again, that you lean into. You give everything you have to in return because together you all grow. In this industry, it can be very cutthroat. There's a lot of gyms where I'm located. And as much as I'd love to be friends and everyone to grow, that's how I am. That's not always going to be the case. And again, you continue to lean with like the businesses and the members and the clients who have supported you from day one. So I'm going to leave it at that. And if you're one of those people who don't support your friends, do better, right? And if you're someone who's supporting complete random strangers, that person and I appreciate you, and good things will always come to those who support others through those times. All right? That's it, guys. That's number 10. I have so many more of these in my head, but I wanted to keep it to a nice, clean number. I might do a part 2, might do more of these in the future. But this JackedNLeen under 10 minutes or less podcast is something that, again, Eileen and I are really passionate about starting back up. You're going to see a lot of dynamic versions of this. As we grow, we get signs on the wall, we get plants and more decorations. You'll see this evolve because Eileen and I want to keep things 100. We are very, very real people. What you see is what you get, and this podcast is a way for us to deliver that to you guys so we can all grow together. Have a good rest of wherever you're doing today, night, and we'll see you next time.